Hi, this is Terry, w5pcj, and today we're at Bear Creek Park, and we're located at the corner of Golbo and Fox Street, or Road, whatever it would be. We're running the MFJ 2299, and we're running a little HF portable, so we thought we'd make a few contacts today and see what kind of fun we can have. In a little bit, I'll be back to show you the antenna and the station. This is Terry, w5pcj, and we'll be right back. Hey, this is w5pcj, and we have our antenna set up. The antenna we're running today is the MFJ 2299. Now what this is, and I've added one detail to it, is basically a hamstick dipole, except there's no hamsticks, and in place of the hamsticks we use the two MFJ 1979 telescopic whips. And what I've added at the feed point is just a line isolator from MFJ. I think it's a model 915 to kind of take care of some of the RF that might want to find its way down my coax. So there's what we're running there, and when we come back we'll show off the radio. But before I do, let me show how I've got this thing mounted here. That might interest some of y'all. I picked up a trailer jack from Northern Tools some time ago, based on a QST article I found. And what I've done is I have gutted that jack, and I now use it as a mast bracket. It's attached to the bracket that holds my screwdriver antenna. So what I do is I slip this 25-foot painter pole in it. Now right now we're only at about, I guess about 18 or 19 feet up, thereabouts. And it's not perfectly vertical, and I realize that, but it's a dipole. If the mast leans one way or the other, it doesn't really affect your radiation pattern that significantly, if any at all, really. The coax is just basic old run-of-the-mill RG50A, El Cheapo. Picked it up at a Hamfest some years ago on a reel, and nobody else seemed to want it, and I thought, well, I can do something with it, so I went ahead and picked it up at a good price. But there you go. The other reason I have this trailer jack bracket is because I have a 30-foot metal push-up pole that fits into that bracket real good. And as you can see, the painter pole has a little bit of slop in it, so it's not a tight fit. I could shim it up, but it's a temporary, portable setup, and that little slop isn't hurting anything. Now, the other cool thing about having the antenna mounted like this is you can, by means of strong-arming it, reach up there and rotate your dipole and orient it a different direction. So that's kind of cool. So right now I'm oriented, I believe, would be north and south primarily, the way it's set up. I'll pull away here and give a further shot from the truck. Okay, so we're a little further back from the truck. Kind of hard to see those whips with the way the sunlight's hitting this particular shot. But you can see the mast, and let me see if I can help it some here. I'll zoom in. There's the whips, they just fade into the trees. And yes, it leans that way too, but it doesn't really matter that significantly. And when we come back, I'll show my little station that I'm set up at over on the picnic bench, which is nice and close to the restrooms. This is Terry, w5pcj, and I'll be right back. All right, there's the portable station. I have a camera bag on the side that I use to carry accessories. Sometimes for a lighter setup, I'll put the radio inside of that. But right now, the radio's in its Go box that I usually use in the Suburban. So the data way, it's easy to take it out when I get home, and with a couple quick connections, it's easy to put it in. So there's your Yaesu 857D in a Go box. Pardon the shakiness of the camera. I shake, what can I say? We got the FT meter, the 857D beside it. A little access panel up top that gives me connections for power lines, and then HF, 2 meter 440, and a switch that flips between the internal battery, that's a 17 amp hour battery, and external power, which is that blue cable. It has Anderson power poles on the end. Now, it's not as neat as some of the setups I've seen, but for my purposes, it's an inexpensive route, and she works well. And right now, it's working pretty good. There's my setup. Good audio, good strong signals. And let's see. There's your FT meter. Let's see. This guy here is giving me a. Let's see if the thing will adjust here real quick. I won't adjust. Okay, fine with it. The light switch doesn't work when it's on the battery mode inside. But anyway, so there you go. That's the station. Time to make some contacts. This is Terry, w5pcj. We'll be back shortly. Well, we had a change of plans. I took down the MSJ 2299 because although it's excellent on 20 meters and it would be on every band above it, it's a lot of work to readjust it for the bands. So I took it down and I went back up with my end fed with the same coax all the way into that little matchbox hanging from that tree. Let me zoom in real quick here. There's 30 foot of wire going up into the top of that tree, and then it's tied off with a rope, and then all the coax comes there, all the way back down through here, over to the shack at the picnic table. And I think it's been a good day, but I'm getting ready to wrap things up and load up the smaller version of the station because this will break down pretty quickly. But this has been a fun day at the park, and I guess I'm going to wrap it up here pretty quick and head for the house and be there when my wife comes in from work. I filled up one log sheet, started another. I worked Wales. I've worked France twice. Spain a couple of times, so it's been a good day. I've made a lot of fun contacts here at the park at Bear Creek. So that being said, let me flip the phone around here. This is w5pcj. This is Terry, and we had a blast. And 7-3.